Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Tina and I live in the Piedmont of Virginia. That's why I named my channel Life in the Piedmont, because I'm documenting my life while I live here in the Piedmont. And this video today, oh wait, before I go on, hey, if you're new here, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Hit the like button and subscribe, please. That really helps me out. If you've been around for a while, I appreciate you continuing to support me. I've met so many wonderful people here through YouTube and having friends, but here's the thing. I have been saving my apple scraps for the past year, and I want to make some apple scrap vinegar, and I had filmed some of it and now I can't find the footage. So we're just going to kind of walk through how I made my apple scrap vinegar, and I wanted to bring you along because today I'm going to be doing the final process of it, and I wanted to bring you along, but then also talk to you about how I ended up making my apple scrap vinegar. So one of the first things that I did was, when I either peel or core my apples, I immediately put them in a Ziploc bag and stored them in my freezer, where I kept it to preserve them from turning brown or anything. And so I said, I've got to start eliminating some of this stuff from my freezer. So I thought, let's do the one easiest thing that you can do to preserve something, and that is to make some apple scrap vinegar. This is my first time making it, and it's a really easy process. And I made about a half gallon, and I know that is going to serve me and my family well for a while. I don't look for me going through this like really quick. So what I did is and I will show you what I did. Let me get my. So I have a half gallon mason jar is what I use. Now you don't have to have this. You can use any size container that you want, but this recipe is for about a half gallon. And what I did is I filled this up about 3/4 of the way full with my apple scrap vinegar. And then to that, I poured the water, and I measured the water out. So I knew how many cups of water that this recipe was gonna take. And it's very important to know how many cups of water, because that's gonna tell you how much sugar that you're gonna need to put in here, okay? All right, I misspoke. So for every cup of water, you're gonna put in 1 tablespoon of sugar. So if it took 8 to 9 cups of water to fill up all the apple scraps that I had placed in here, then you're gonna add 8 to 9 tablespoons of sugar. And once you fill that up, you're gonna wanna stir that up really good, okay? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna come in and you're gonna put a coffee filter on it, a ring on it, and then you're gonna put it in the back of your pantry or somewhere dark, and you're gonna let it sit for 2 weeks. And in that time, you're gonna come in and you're gonna stir it maybe once a week. And that's what I have done. And it's ready now to go to the next step. I did pull this out earlier this week, and it was really tasty. Like, I just can't get over how tasty this is. I know not only is this gonna make a really great salad dressing, but it's also gonna make a really great marinade for something. And even though, I mean, you can look at this, see how it's fermented in there? It is just perfect. But just know, friends, that this is not the type of vinegar that you're gonna be able to use for canning, okay? It doesn't have the acidity, the levels of the acid, it's not 5%, okay? So this is not something that you can use for canning. There's just not something that you can do. So we're gonna scoot on over here to the counter, and we are gonna get our apple cider vinegar strained. We're gonna remove the apple scraps in there, and I'll show you how we're gonna do all of this. All right, so the first thing I need to do is take our lid off. I have this on pretty good. And remove our coffee filter. Now, I did put a weight in here for the front when I fermented this, because it holds the apple peels down beneath the line, or beneath the water level and the sugar. That way you're ensured not to get, you know, anything. And of course this doesn't want to cooperate with me because I'm filming today. I cannot get my lid out of here. It is really stuck. So what I think I'm gonna do is just start straining it, and that may help. So I go down to the Dollar Tree. These are sink stoppers. They come in a pack of like 2 or 3 maybe. And they come in different sizes. They're $1.50 now. And so I use that, and it fits perfectly on top. And now I'm just gonna take my apple cider vinegar that I've started 2 weeks ago, and we're gonna strain it. Hopefully I can get my weight out of there that I use for fermenting. It smells so good. But okay, there we go. You can see my weight still in there, and it's not wanting to come out. I'm gonna have to fuss with that after the video. All right, once you have this strained, just come in, give it a good wipe down around the rims. Make sure there's nothing sticking there. And then you're gonna wanna wash the outside of the jar too. And then you're gonna put a lid on it, just like that. And we're gonna go and wash it underneath the sink with warm water for just a few minutes, and with a little bit of soap. So once you have it all washed off and a lid on tight, dry the jar off, and I am gonna store this back in my pantry for another 4 months before I use it. If you need it beforehand, I think you could, but just remember, the longer that it sits, the better that the vinegar is. It's stronger to use in marinades and salad dressing. So if you cannot touch it for 4 months, that would be perfect. I'm gonna count this as my very first Every Bit Counts challenge video too. So anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this video, friends, and I will see you back on my next video as we continue our potluck series for July, which I have just really enjoyed. So I will see you on the next one. Be blessed. Take care, everyone.